Senate Committee on Economic and Workforce Development is being called to order. While we give members more time to arrive, we're going to go ahead and begin in subcommittee. First bill we'll be hearing today will be Senate Bill 1443 by Senator Berger. Please begin when you're ready.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. For the record, Senator Jamie Berger representing the 27th District. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to present Senate Bill 1443. Senate Bill 1443 would create a new track within the current Missouri Works program that would utilize the existing Missouri Works tax credit cap of $106 billion and would require no new or additional funding. Applicants would need to meet a criteria of a $50 million minimum investment. Other factors that are considered when applying are overall size and quality of the project, new jobs, retained jobs, wages, new capital investments, potential multiplier effect would have on the community, financial stability of the company, level of economic distress in the area, evaluation of the competitiveness of alternate locations. If approved, applicants could receive a tax credit for up to 2.5% of the qualified investment. This incentive is based and can only be earned after investment occurs. If passed, this would allow Missouri to stay competitive and aligned with business needs, would create flexibility within the Department of Economic Development's incentive toolkit to appeal to existing and future Missouri businesses. This change would ensure that Missouri keeps pace as companies invest in new technology and innovation. Other important facts to note, 39 other states have a similar program. The separate Missouri Works tracks cannot be stacked. Data centers are not eligible. Again, no new or additional funding is being requested. And with that, I will take any questions.
Thank you, Senator. Do you have any questions? Seeing none. Before we move on to witnesses, we're gonna go ahead and establish a quorum. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown, Gregory 21, Gregory 15, Lewis, Schnelting, Trent, Washington. We have a quorum.
First witness to testify in favor of Senate Bill 1443.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to have to leave, go to gubernatorial appointments.
Sure thing.
Thank
you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Ryan Stauffer, Legislative Director for the Department of Economic Development. I want to go on record in support and thank the sponsor for bringing the bill forward. This is something that the department's really excited about. We've worked on this for a number of years, a way to capture these type of projects that have a significant and meaningful capital investment being made, but isn't necessarily tied to new job creation, which is what the current existing Missouri Works track is. This, again, cannot be combined with that track. Minimum $50 million investment made over 2 years. Something that a lot of local economic developers have been reaching out to us over the last few years, asking for this. There's a project in southeast Missouri that you may see in some written testimony that's being submitted. Significant project that we're working on has 750 existing employees, over $190 million new investment being made. We're competing with Tennessee and other states that have similar incentive tools. This would help make us competitive with those states. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Do you have any questions to the witness? Saying none. Next up in favor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Brian Grace here on behalf of the Missouri Economic Development Council. I'd like to echo everything that Ryan said. We appreciate the department and the senator bringing this proposal forward. This is something the economic development community has looking to fill a hole from an incentive perspective for quite some time, and we support this proposal.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? Seeing none. Next up in favor.
All right, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Ben Travalis with the Missouri Soybean Association would like to go on record in support of this legislation. When it comes to investing in the rural parts of our states, if there's a biodiesel plant or a crush facility, a soybean crush facility that would be looking to expand, tools in the toolbox like this would certainly enable investing in the economic vitality of our rural areas and support our farming industry. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions to the witness? Seeing none, next up in favor.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Chance Epple here on behalf of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We just want to go on record in support of this legislation and echo all the sentiments of the previous witnesses. Whatever we can do to enhance the state's economic climate and improve competitiveness here in the states by bringing in more investment, more capital opportunity for both in our rural and urban spaces as well, too. That's why we're happy to go on support. This is common sense legislation, and we look forward to working with you all and getting this passed. Thank you. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you for your testimony. Do we have any questions? Seeing none.
Thank you.
Anyone else in favor? Anyone here in opposition of Senate Bill 1443?
Lisa Panett, Armorvine. The people are hurting in the state, and we're looking at how we're going to cut the budget or not cut the budget and just keep taxing the people. And even though this carves out the data centers, I just want to bring light to one thing, that the battery storage facilities are not carved out in here. And there are 39 planned battery storage projects in the works right now. And 5 of those are anticipated operations within the next year in Jefferson County, in Clinton, in Clay, in Greene County, and MISO has the majority of these projects. And so even though the data centers are carved out, this would really be an expansion to those things by default.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? Seeing none. Next up in opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Arnie C. A.C. Dinoff, State Public Advocate. I just wanted to check with staff. I submitted on the Senate portal my opposition to Senate Bill 1443. Did you receive it? Okay. Doesn't sound assuring. Do you need me to fill out a paper form to make sure it's distributed?
If it was some,
Okay, cool. But I did do it this morning. So we are at a tipping point here in Missouri, and we really need to face the consequences and face the music this year, right now, right here. Tax credits are out of control. Missouri is one of the leading tax credit corporate giveaway states in our nation, but we are not receiving return on investment or residuals in terms of increased income. We are facing a $1 billion shortfall in fiscal year 2027 that the Appropriations Committee right next door to this room and hearing room 2 is dealing with those appropriation bills and hopefully cutting our budget that came over from the House of Representatives. We need to cut another $1 billion, that's billion with a B, from the 2028 fiscal year. This has serious consequences to Missourians in terms of possible increased credit ratings, increased mooting ratings, and increased bonding insurance ratings for MoDOT projects, for capital improvement projects through the Office of Administration and other state agencies and commissions. We have to do something to stop crippling our state and putting the tax burden on the backs and the shoulders of 6.2 Missourians. Now, the senator who's sponsoring this bill, he's a great senator. He's got all the great intentions, has a heart of gold. But we need to stop giving away tax credits. If every tax credit that was offered by every senator and every member of the House of Representatives was approved in this legislative session, it would cost us over $5 billion to fund those tax credits. These tax credits are a commodity. They have become sold to the highest bidder, and they yield more than what the tax credit is worth to the person who is given the tax credit. That needs to come to a stop and a halt because there should not be profitability on tax credits. It shouldn't be sold to the highest bidder and as a commodity. The fiscal note, if you look into the fiscal note and the details of this bill, they're very concerning. The nonpartisan team that put together the fiscal note says the big words in capital letters, unknown, of what that constraint is going to be on Missourians and on our $50 billion budget, which we have to cut $2 billion from. Last year, redeemed for this tax credit was $92 million, and issued was $157 million. I've asked for a report on this to see what the return on investment is, what the generation of employees is, and what the benefit to Missourians is. And I have not received any information or any details on what that looks like. Again, senators, we need to bring tax credits to a halt. We need to stop being the corporate giveaway of America, and we need to start cutting our budget right here, right now, and next door in the Appropriations Committee. For those reasons, I strongly am in opposition to SB 1443. I don't think it puts Missouri in a better situation. I think it makes people more wealthy in terms of giving top executives bonuses and commissions, and I think Missourians are left in the dust. For those reasons, I do not support this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for your testimony. Do we have any questions?
Yes.
Senator Gregory.
You said that the tax credits sell for more than what they're worth.
Correct. It's sold as a
Where
commodity.
have you seen that ever happen before? Why if I owed the government $5, would I pay you $7 for a $5 tax credit?
Because some people need.
Would I not be better off just paying the $5 to the government as opposed to spending $7 to buy a $5 credit? I'm just saying I've never in my wildest dreams seen or heard of anyone that like, I'll give you $105 right now for your $100 bill. That makes zero sense whatsoever. And the number I've generally heard is 80 cents on the dollar is about the high mark for anything at these that sell. So I just wanted to make that clarification that I've never seen or heard of these things selling for more than what they're actually worth. That's all.
Any further questions? Seeing none.
Thank you.
Anyone else to testify in opposition to Senate Bill 1443? Anyone for informational purposes only? Seeing none, this concludes the hearing for Senate Bill 1443. Next bill we'll be hearing today is House Committee Substitute for House Bill 2819. Representative Shields, please begin when you're ready.
Thank you very much, Chairman and Senators. I am Representative Brenda Shields, representing District 11 in St. Joseph, Missouri, and thank you for hearing House Bill 2819 today. 2819 is a sales tax rounding piece of legislation. This legislation is necessary because in late 2025, the U.S. government stopped minting the penny. Like me, I'm sure many of you have seen the signs in retailers across the state right now saying that they have no pennies. And because of the penny shortage caused by the elimination of the penny minting, Missouri's businesses need a clear and statutory framework to round cash sales, or they risk unintentionally violating confusing tax rules when they can no longer make exact change. This legislation authorizes a rounding on the final total of a cash sale to the nearest 5 cents, giving businesses a clear and consistent rule. Merchants across the state are asking for guidance, but without explicit authority to legally round, retailers and cash-dependent businesses could face uncertainty and potential compliance risks. This legislation does not affect any digital or non-cash payments where precise collections are already automated, but for physical cash transactions, the elimination of the penny means more customers and businesses will routinely confront situations where exact change is impossible, which further underscores the need for rounding rules that are both fair and predictable. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Representative. Do we have any questions? Senator
Just
Gregory.
a comment. Thank you, Representative. I have this exact same bill on the Senate side. Yours is moving a lot faster, so I would love to team up and help you on the Senate side as much as you need.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thanks.
that much.
Any further questions? All right. Before we go on to witnesses, we're going to move into executive session.
Okay.
Representative Shields, I understand you might have to leave at some point, so
I have about 12 more minutes, so
Okay.
I'll stay. Thank you.
I now make a motion to move into executive session. Do I have a second? I have a second. We are in executive session. I move that the committee take up Senate Bill 1547. Do I have a second? This is Senator Trent's bill we heard last week relating to benevolent tax credits. There's a Senate committee substitute that has been distributed, which adds in language from Senate Bill 1123 relating to a tax credit for stillbirths. The substitute also adds in language from Senate Bill 1082 relating to tax credit for donated foods. I move that the committee adopt Senate substitute for Senate Bill 1547. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Yes. Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown,
Aye.
Gregory 21, Gregory 15, Lewis, Schnelting, Trent, and Senator Washington left her vote with the chair and is voting yes. By your vote of 5-1, you have voted to do pass Senate Committee Substitute for Senate Bill 1547.
I move that Senate Bill 1646 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second? Do it. I have a reluctant second. This is Senator Henderson's bill we heard last week that everyone seems very enthusiastic about. Senate Bill 1646 modifies provisions relating to use of certain tourism revenue. I move the committee vote do pass 1646. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown,
Aye.
Gregory 21, Gregory 15, Lewis, Schnelting, Trent, and Senator Washington is voting with the chair, voting aye. By your vote of 6-0, you have voted to do pass Senate Bill 1646.
I now move the committee take up House Bill 1707. Do I have a second? I have a very quick second. This is Representative Coleman's bill we heard last week. And there is a Senate committee substitute that has been distributed, which adds in sales tax language for the rental of certain campgrounds and jet fuel. Move that the committee adopt Senate substitute for House Bill 1707. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the substitute, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We have adopted Senate committee substitute for House Bill 1707. I now move that the committee vote Senate committee substitute for House Bill 1707 do pass. Do I have a second? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown,
Aye.
Gregory 21, Gregory 15, Lewis, Schnelting, Trent, and Senator Washington left her vote with the chair is voting no. By your vote of 5-1, you have voted to do pass Senate Committee Substitute for House Bill 1707.
I now move the committee take up House Committee substitute for House Bills 3231 and 2531. Do I have a second? This is Representative Chris' bill we heard last week. There is a Senate Committee substitute that has been distributed. We do have the Senate sponsor, Senator Gregory of the 21st here. Senator, would you like to kind of talk through some of the changes in the sub?
Yeah, I'll breeze through them real quick. Obviously, it's a large piece of legislation, but I think it's a good piece of legislation for the entire state, and it's been a work in progress its entire way. So, number one, CPI escalator for office conversion has been eliminated. It remains at the same level for the duration of the bill. Escalator for angel tax credit has been reduced from 20% annually for 6 years off a $6 million base to 6 to 7 if all is utilized, 8 if all $7 million is utilized. Adding renewal of Modessa program is added that will enable a $2.5 billion shovel-ready projects in Kansas City Power and Light in Ballpark Village. That's one that's going on there. It's a program that was around 10 years ago, I think. Well, longer than that ago, but bringing that back so we can get more cranes in the sky in the state of Missouri. A lot of construction jobs. I think it's a very good project priority. Prohibition on any taxpayer receiving the same, like you can't utilize multiple different programs. You got to choose a lane and stay in it, is the way I understand it. New language regarding allocations from Rural Development Fund of requiring that DED report annually to the House Budget Committee on the process to determine fund disbursements, the amount of each award, the amount of each award, and identify of each awardee and purpose of each award. Compromise language negotiated with labor regarding building code flexibility in historic buildings. What little I know about construction, I imagine getting stuff up to full code would be kind of a bear in some of these old buildings, but we're going to make sure they're still safe, but have a little bit of flexibility there. And then language regarding to the Missouri Works program, which currently authorized to provide various incentives for the creation and retention of new and existing jobs. So those are some of the changes we've made thus far. I imagine there'll probably be a few more before we get out to the floor, but this is where we're at.
Thank you for the explanation, Senator. I move that the committee adopt Senate substitute for House Committee substitute for House Bills 3231 and 2531. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the sub, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We have adopted the Senate Committee substitute for House Committee substitute for House Bills 3231 and 2531. I now move that the committee vote Senate Committee substitute for House Committee substitutes House Bills 3231 and 2531 do pass. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown,
Aye.
Gregory 21, Gregory 15, Lewis, Schnelting, Trent, and Senator Washington left her vote with the chair and votes aye. By your vote of 6-0, you voted to pass Senate Committee substitute for House Committee substitute for House Bills 3231 and 2531.
I now make a motion that we exit executive session. Do I have a second? We are out of executive session. And we will resume our hearing on House Bill 2819. It's a great bill, guys. You should stick around.
I know, I feel a little, it's like, they don't like the penny.
It seems like just such common sense that people didn't need to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
So back to the hearing. First up, they would like to testify in favor of House Committee substitute for House Bill 2819. Please come forward and begin when you're ready.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I'm Zach Wyatt, the Legislative Director for Missouri Department of Revenue. Here this morning to testify in favor of House Bill 2819. So this piece of legislation, I work with a lot of states around the country as my role as national co-chair for the work group that's put on by the Federation of Tax Administrators. And a lot of states have put out guidance for their businesses in regards to this issue of the penny not being minted anymore through the Federal Reserve, and the possibility of having the penny shortages, in which there's not really a possibility. We've seen this in some of the businesses even today in Missouri. But they've been able to put out guidance, but our statutes don't allow for us to do that for businesses. And as you guys know, I love to be able to help your constituents when they come to me, and this was really difficult. So we actually teamed up with, it was nice to get to team up with Representative Shields and Senator Gregory on this issue and bring this bill forth. One of the things I will say, we did work through some of the safe harbor language that's put in there, and we made sure that all parties that have a stake in that are good to go with that language. So I hope and I believe I've dotted all my I's and crossed all my T's in regards to not finding something that might hold up this bill. But I will say one of the big things is we have to know that it is not going to change the tax that's owed to the state. It's just changing that final number of the transaction. And I will say it is something that I know a lot of the business community has been asking and inquiring with the Department of Revenue over the last few months. And again, it's just something to give the businesses an option because it doesn't say they shall round up. If they have pennies and they're able to, they do not have to do the rounding. They are round up or round down. Sorry, they're not going to just round up, but round up or round down. They will be able to make that choice as a business. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you. Have any questions to the witness? Saying none. Next up in support.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, good morning. My name is Ron Leone. I'm the Executive Director for the Missouri Petroleum and Convenience Association, so I represent many of your constituents who own, operate, or supply gas stations, convenience stores, and truck stops. I want to thank the sponsors for introducing this legislation. As the sponsor of this particular bill stated, pennies are no longer being minted, although, of course, they are legal tender. Supplies are getting tight. And when shortages really start to hit, my members and all retailers, for that matter, will have to either change their prices, they'll have to round up or round down. So we're grateful for this piece of legislation because it provides us with guidance. It does not apply to electronic transactions. Of course, it wouldn't have to. And it provides some legal protections if, in fact, a retailer follows the guidance that will be produced by this law. So appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Chairman. Happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions to the witness? Saying none.
Thank you.
Next up in favor.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. David Overfelt, President of the Missouri Retailers Association and a lobbyist for the Missouri Grocers Association. We appreciate the sponsor and the department's work on this. It's a real issue. You know, I have a lot of retailers that are just rounding everything up, meaning they're giving even more back to the consumer. And I think this bill allows that. So we really appreciate all the work the department and the senator has put into this.
Questions? Oh, sorry.
And I'm going to have to help make a quorum quickly and then run back. So I'm going to temporarily hand the chair over to Senator Gregory.
Questions for the witness? Seeing none, thanks so much. Anyone else to testify in favor of 2819? Please proceed when you're ready.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Chance Heppel again here with the Missouri Chamber of Commerce. We just want to go on record in support of this legislation. Really appreciate the sponsors, appreciate the department for all the work that they're putting in. This truly provides some clarity and regulatory framework for our businesses who had some questions leading up to this legislation. And so we really appreciate, again, the sponsor and the department for working on this, and happy to take any questions.
Questions for the witness? Seeing none, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Next witness in favor of House Bill 2819.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Arnie C. A.C. Dinoff, State Public Advocate. I submitted my online testimony on the Senate portal this morning. I'm in support of SB 2819. It's a sales transaction, a rounding to the nearest penny. Senator Gregory, I agree with your bill also. I think they're both parallel bills. They both mean and state the same issue. Retailers and people in our economy need to have some direction. This bill is right on the money, no pun intended. It's rounding rules that are upfront and truth to all Missourians or visitors to our state. This legislation, both the Senate bill and the House bill, are a no-brainer and common sense. Therefore, I am in support of this bill. Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chair.
Questions for the witness? Seeing none, thank you so much. Next witness in favor? Seeing none. Any witnesses to testify in opposition? Seeing none. Anyone here for informational purposes? Seeing none, this concludes the hearing on House Bill 2819. We will now hear House Bill 2508, sponsored by Representative Brown. Representative, you may proceed when you're ready.
Vice Chair Gregory, committee members, thank you for time and opportunity to present House Bill 2508. For the record, I am Chris Brown, Missouri House of Representatives, District 16, located in the Northland of Kansas City. House Bill 2508 is the companion bill to Senate Bill 1142, sponsored by Senator Hudson, which the Senate voted out consent unanimously. House Bill 2508 will give the Secretary of State confidence to issue certificates of good standing for series limited liability corporations originating in Missouri but wanting to conduct business in another state. Senators, I will not belabor the bill. I know you've heard this bill on multiple occasions, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. So.
Questions? Questions for the representative? Seeing none, thanks so much. First witness to testify in favor of House Bill 2508.
Good morning. In the spirit of been there, done that, I will say I'm Susan Henderson Moore. On behalf of Pulcinelli, want to go on the record in favor.
Thank you. Questions for the witness? Seeing none. Next witness in favor of 2508.
Again, Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Chance Hepla here on behalf of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I believe this is the third time I believe we've testified on this legislation. And again, in the spirit of being brief as well, we're happy to go in support of this legislation. Happy to take any questions.
Questions for the witness? Seeing none. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Next witness in favor of 2508. Seeing none. Anyone here to testify in opposition of 2508?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Arne C. A.C. Dinoff, State Public Advocate. I submitted my online testimony on the Senate portal back on February 3rd in the House Economic Development Committee. I opposed House Bill 2508, and I also opposed the Senate bill offered by Senator Hudson. I feel that my opposition is by forming these LLCs, I feel that it's a lack of transparency, hiding segments and assets of LLCs to the general public and to protect all Missourians. I believe that this is the wrong course of action and that this is not a bill that is prime for sending to the governor. I believe in transparency. I believe in openness. I believe in not hiding assets or hiding LLCs to try to fool or try to deceive or be unethical or provide unethical business practices with Missourians. Therefore, I cannot support this House Bill HCS Hb2508. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for your testimony. Do we have any questions? Seeing none. Anyone else in opposition of House Committee Substitute for House Bill 2508? Seeing none. Anyone for informational purposes only? Seeing none. Representative, do you have any closing remarks? With that being said, this concludes the hearing for House Committee Substitute for House Bill 2508. With no further business coming before the committee, I make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? We are adjourned.